So Fresno State got their first win of the season against the Georgia State Eagles, 42-14, and just like last week's loss against Kansas, the stats really do tell the stories. Fresno State had 500 plus total yards against Georgia State's 242. EJ Warner threw for 176 passing yards. I'll get to his flaws later. Georgia State had 143 rushing yards. It's just unbelievable. 300 plus for Fresno State, 84 for Georgia State. Penalty yards, Georgia State had 53, Fresno State had 25. That's a never plus in the Bulldogs' territory so far this year is how disciplined they are. Twice as many first downs for Fresno State, 29 versus 13 for Georgia State. The only stat line that was really close was the third downs. Bulldogs got 6, Georgia State had 4. Neither team got a fourth down. Time possession was 38 minutes for Fresno State. Georgia Southern had 21 minutes. And again, those stats tell you that the Bulldogs dominated this football game. E.J. Warner really was the big problem in terms of Fresno State stopping themselves through 2 interceptions, although one of the interception functioned as a long punt, but he has also thrown for 0 touchdowns so far this year, right? He's got to do better. I said this before. The coaching staff can't be married to Warner, okay? I'm sure Kurt was there and they showed him on the broadcast. I'm sure the quarterback in him knows that his son's got to do better or else he'll lose the job. I mean, the two quarterbacks behind him, Cochran and Madel, right behind him, according to reports. So if Warner keeps playing like this, he's going to have to get replaced. As simple as that. Bryson Donaldson also had a fumble, but you can excuse that with just the type of performance he's had. I mean, he is second right now in the entire country in rushing yards. Not Mountain West, not Group of 5, the entire country. He is outstanding so far, and he is the guy that all the teams from now on are going to be locked on to watch. If you had watched the first half, the Bulldogs were down 14-13, but it really was because of their own mistakes. And I remember telling people around me, if we just clean things up, we're going to dominate this football game. And that's exactly what we did. I mean, Georgia Southern, those turnovers are the only reason why they stayed in a half. And the Bulldogs got one. I think Ryan Wilson got his first career interception off a tip ball from Jaden Davis. The second half is really what you wanted to see for the Fresno State Bulldogs. I mean, that's what you want to see the rest of the year. I mean, my goodness, it really was the team that we were promised going into the season. I mean, just about every stat line you could think of was very impressive for the Bulldogs. Even Dylan Lynch, who had his problem last year, he didn't miss a field goal. Bryson Donaldson, let me just get this for you. He had 1 touchdown, average 7.3 yards, 170 yards on 2 touchdowns. Speedy Luke had nearly 100 yards with 96 yards, 3 touchdowns. Elijah Gilliam and Ramirez came in and they juiced things up. I mean, it was a complete domination on the running game. And that Georgia Southern had no answer about that. Pat Hill on the radio, he was loving it. He was talking about how, there's nothing the team could do when you're just pound the ball on them. It breaks their will. It opens everything up. It's why he wanted to do it. And if you can run like the Bulldogs did, you can't stop a team when they're doing that. But if you're a pass first team, you open your balls to incompletions, interceptions, and so forth. So, yes, if you can't dominate the ball on the ground game, there's really not much the other team can do about it. And that's just how they're going to have to be if you're a Bulldog. That we saw the foot of how they're going to win Saturday. They're not going to move away from it unless maybe they change quarterbacks. But even then, I think they're still going to try to do the same thing that they want to do with Warner. Good decisions. Don't make many mistakes. Keep the chains going, so forth. Here's another stat that also tells you everything about the Bulldogs as well. They didn't punt once, which, again, E.J. Warner, long interception counts the punt. Average total offense, 7.3 yards for Georgia Tech's 4.9. Twice as many plays. I mean, this was a clinic in what Matt Entz wanted to do. And if they keep doing this, the Bulldogs will be a very successful team. The question is, will they be able to keep doing this? I think Georgia Southern is going to be a team that will do something in the Sun Belt. I don't think they'll push over in a group of 5 standards. Well, they'll probably get smoked by the Trojans next week, but you can't really hold that against them. I mean, USC should smoke Georgia Southern. All right? So they'll start out 0-2, and you'll think, okay, Fresno State's not beating anybody good, including Oregon State. If we beat the Beavers, they'll start out 0-2. But that's not the Bulldogs' fault, you know? I think that Georgia Southern ran into a team that was really pissed off after how they played against Kansas and went out to prove it. They had a game above the Eagles. They knew what they did wrong, what they had to work on, and that's not something you can just see over and over again in practice against yourself. You had to see another team. And finally, we saw what the Bulldogs would do after facing somebody. They're going to go up to Oregon State, a team that historically has been their peer group. And we'll find out more about them. We'll find out starting guard Camden McCurg. He got hurt at some point in this season, in this game, excuse me. We'll see how he looks from the coach's report. I'm sure we'll find out more, but he's had 3 of those now. I believe 2 of them was season ending, or 3. He's been out multiple times, so we'll see what happens. He might just quit if he keeps getting hurt like this. But we'll see. Outside of that, the roster's all right. Running back should be okay based on how they want to use them and rotate them. There's been no real, game went the way you want to as a Bulldog fan. The only real slight is also the passing yards. Warner, outside of his 2 interceptions, had a pretty good game. Averaged 6.5 yards, 20 for 27. Average completion 8.8. I mean, that's what you want. Again, I can keep going down the line, but we're seeing exactly what type of football team this wants to be. So let's follow it up with a win at Oregon State and get the ball rolling. Because the Beavers are going to come out desperate, like the Bulldogs did this past week, and I'll talk about that later when I preview the Beavers. All right? But let's enjoy this one, Bulldog fans. Got the win. On to the next one.